Hey beautiful people, what is up and welcome back to my channel and welcome to a really exciting video because today for you guys I am going to be reviewing the brand new limited release Pat McGrath Labs Dark Star 006 kit. Now it says that this is limited release, not limited edition. I'm not even really sure what that means, but we'll get into it. But before we dive right in, if this is your first time joining me, hi, welcome. I am Jamila, and I love all things beauty. I love all things makeup. I love all things skincare, and I especially love sharing my tips and tricks for how to find high-end and luxury beauty products at bargain prices. If that sounds like something you are interested in, I would absolutely love if you would consider subscribing and joining the family. Okay, so you guys know I typically don't buy things at full price or when they immediately release, but I was actually pushed over the edge to pick this up because you're getting 4 full-size products in this kit for $50, which means that every product is just a little bit over $10, which in my opinion is pretty good value for Pat McGrath. So for this video, I'm going to break it up in a couple of different ways, and I'll leave timestamps down below if you want to jump around. I'll give you guys all of the product details up front, do some swatches and some comparisons to the other multi-chromes in Pat's collection, and then I'm just going to give you guys one quick eye look. I mean, it's one eyeshadow, so you're only going to get one look. So let's dive into some product details. So this kit retails for $50. It is available on Pat's website. I did not see that this has come to Sephora, and I don't know if it is going to come to Sephora. Like I said, the kit comes with 4 products, and it comes in this typical like plastic sleeve that has her little shiny, what is this called? Confetti, I guess, in it. The first thing is that you do get this little like pamphlet that kind of articulates how you could use the product. There is the product details for every single individual item is listed in the back as well. So we'll get into each specific item. So the first thing that you get is a black pencil. This is Pat's standard black pencil. I already have one of these from a previous kit that I bought, so I'm not going to swatch this one, but I will show you guys the one that I already had. Very, very deep matte black. Pat's formula is really, really creamy, so this is good for like smudging out. So it's good for lining the eyes and then smudging things out if that's the look that you're going for. The second product is, I love and hate Pat's packaging at the same time because these little glitter things end up everywhere. And for reference, the Permagel eye pencil is actually made in Germany and you get 1.2 grams of product. So the second product is the Clear Gloss. This comes in a little container. It has Pat's logo on top, and then when you open it up, you get this blue clear gloss. Now, this is not going to be a product that I use very frequently, or I think anyone uses very frequently, because I don't think a lot of people put like gloss on their eyes. Although this might make a very cute lip gloss. So this was made in Italy, and it has 4 grams of product. And it's in the shade Cyber Electric Eye Gloss. The next product is this little bottle of Miron mixing liquid. I've heard a lot of people talk about the Miron mixing liquid to turn your shadows into more of a wet metallic looking shadow. I'm pretty sure that this is not Pat's product, and this is a collab that Pat is doing with Miron. Yes. So this is made in USA of US and imported ingredients, and it's 15 milliliters of product. And then the last product, which is the star of the show, is the multi-chrome. So it comes this really basic packaging, and here we have the multi-chrome, and you can really, really see that shift. So this is the shade VR Sextra Galactic. It's called a triochrome pigment, and it has 1.5 grams of product, and this was made in Italy. Really quickly, this has an 18-month shelf life. The Miron mixing liquid has a 30-month shelf life. The Permagel eye pencil has a 36-month shelf life. And the Clear Gloss has an 18-month shelf life. So if you are very particular about when these products expire, all of them expire at different dates, so you want to be mindful of that. So those are all 4 products that you get in the kit. Now let's dive into some swatches of these products. So again, here we have the shade VR Sextra Galactic. I'm going in with this very dry. You can see that shift on my finger. There we go. We have a very, very strong shift. This is a very, very dry formula. This is one of Pat's kind of like special formulas, and this is very dry. So it's not that wet metallic looking type of multichrome that some of you may be used to. This is the clear gloss. You can see that it definitely has some blue in there. I'm gonna swatch that right next to. There we go. And you can kind of see the blue a little. Next, I'm gonna go back into the Sextra Galactic shade. I'm gonna put that right here. Then I'm gonna go back into the clear gloss and apply that on top of that Sextra Galactic shade to see what that looks like. There we go. So we have Sextra Galactic with the clear gloss on top, Sextra Galactic by itself, and then the clear gloss by itself. And then lastly, I want to try that shade with the Mehron mixing liquid. So I'm going in with my AOA Studio sort of mixing palette. I'm going to scrape off a little bit of this shade and then add like a drop or two of the mixing medium. This palette I picked up from Shop Miss A, and it was $1, and it comes with the mixing palette and then this little spatula. Now I don't know if I added too much or too little, but there we have it. It is very, very liquidy. Let me see if I can get a good swatch. If not, I will add more of the shadow. So we have that shade on the finger. Okay, I'm gonna take a little bit more. Ooh, that is very, very pretty. I do think if I add more pigment, this will certainly look a little bit more opaque, but this is beautiful. So here we have it with the Mehron mixing liquid, the clear gloss, the shade by itself, and then with Sextra Galactic with the clear gloss topped on top of it. Beautiful. Before we dive into the eye look, I do want to give you guys two comparisons, and that is from the Utopian Dream Mothership as well as Divine Rose 2. These are the only other two multichromes that I know Pat has, so let's just compare and see if there are any similarities. So here we have this shade VR, I believe it's Sextreme. Yes, VR Sextreme. Here's what that looks like on the finger. Let's see. Well, you can already see that it does not look similar at all. Oh, it's Blitz Sextreme, not VR Sextreme. I was like, I know that sounds wrong. And then here is the shade VR Sextra Terrestrial, which is the first multichrome that we saw Mama Pat release. Again, you can clearly see that this is very different. Okay. So we have VR Sextra Galactic, Blitz Sextreme, and then VR Sextra Terrestrial. So you can see all of Mama Pat's multichromes are very different. These two are more similar to each other. And the one thing I want to point out is that the VR Sextra Terrestrial and the VR Sextra Galactic shade have the exact same formula. So it's that very, very dry texture, and Blitz Sextreme is very creamy. So it's two different formulas. Blitz Sextreme definitely looks more wet and more metallic than the other shades. Lastly, before I apply this to my eyes, I do want to show you guys the products from the last kit that Mama Pat released, because I thought that there was some similarities. So this was the shade Ultraviolet Blue Pressed Pigment that was released in Pat's last kit. It is a blue-purple eyeshadow, very, very huge pan size. So I'll swatch that for you guys. And then she also released a gloss in that kit, kit, not clit. Jeez. And this is the Clear Cyber Eye Gloss. Now, I thought that this gloss was the exact same shade as the one in this new kit, but it is not. You can see that this one has a blue flip, this one is quite clear. So if you have the original kit, you're not gonna get the same gloss. So, just gonna swatch the gloss here. This one has more of a blue purple tint to it, whereas this gloss is definitely just straight blue. This one has a little bit of a purple shift. And then swatching the pigment, you can see that. It's a very, very vibrant blue that leans purple. Patricia really knows how to get us. Okay, so now that we have everything swatched, let's do a quick eye look with this shade. So because this kit really only comes with the multi-chrome, I'm gonna be going in with my Viseart Neutral, is this Neutral Mattes? Yes, I believe this is the Neutral Mattes. Come on in, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna start by going in with this pink shade as my crease color. And what I love about multi-chrome shades is that they really allow you to make a very simple look. Like in some ways you can just lay down a matte, 1 or 2 mattes, if you're feeling crazy, 3. And then you just plop that multi-chrome all over the lid and then you're just good to go. And then I'm gonna go in with this shade here. It's like a deep brick purple. And I'm just gonna use that to deepen up the outer V. I can't trust, I'm too damn jaded now. Break laws, got no jaw, no shawty tweaking now. I fell in love with a moolah. I need my wrist like a cooler. Then I'm gonna go into the shade VR Extra Galactic. Just picking that up with my finger. And I'm gonna put that all over the lid. She keep coming at me every day and night. When I left in my life started feeling right. Yeah, yeah, ooh. These days I do anything I like. This is really beautiful and subtle. I don't know if you can see the shift. Like it's leaning very, very purple, and I think that's partly because of the pink and the purple that I laid down. For this eye though, I'm gonna go in with the pen from Pat McGrath. This is the Intensifies Artistry wand, which in a lot of ways is meant to be kind of like a mixing medium, but in a pen form, so it's not as messy as having to pull out a palette, having to, you know, apply the product that way. So I want to see if I can use this and get a more intense look. With the pen, I found that you have to like warm it up on your hand before you apply it to the eye because it can be really dry. Or you can go in with like your finger and then tap it onto the lid. Because sometimes I found that this pen can like really tug at my eyelids. Can probably do this with a brush too. I'm gonna tap that in because I can see it moving the eye base that I laid down. And then I'm gonna go back into that shadow, again picking it up on my finger and just tapping where I applied the wand. This definitely feels more vibrant and it looks more vibrant. So here we have this eye having applied the Artistry wand and this eye kind of going in dry. There's definitely a little bit more intensity with this eye compared to this one, but I kind of prefer how this one looks. I want to see if we can take both of these looks up a notch. So I'm gonna scrape off a little bit, apply the Mirror mixing liquid, and see if we can get something that's just a little bit more wet looking and a little bit more intense. Okay, so I'm gonna take this Bobbi Brown cream shadow brush, pick up some of that pigment, oh, and then apply it to the lid. Let's start on this side. And that definitely made it more wet looking. Now I'm here and you're there. Distance takes a toll on me. We have our hopes and our dreams, every little thing between, baby. Lastly, we have the clear gloss, so let's use it. Let's apply some clear gloss over the shadow. I'm gonna go back in with the same cream Bobbi Brown brush that I use. I'm just flipping it onto the other side and picking up a little bit of the gloss, and I'm just gonna apply that right over the shimmer shade. This does not dry down, so it is gonna be very, very sticky. And if you have problems with creasing, this is definitely gonna crease. So here we have the gloss applied over the shade. I don't know, what do you guys think about this gloss? It's definitely a look, I guess. Laying in my bed and I'm listening to Michael. This feels very uncomfortable, I will say that. This is not, like, from a distance, it's not horrible, but this is not a comfortable thing on my eyes. Okay, so here's the look. I just was playing around to see how I liked it. I clearly did way too much. But yeah, here's the look. I'm gonna wipe this off, and then I'm gonna come back, and I guess I'll do one more look, I think, maybe. Okay, I'm back. I wiped off that, and I'm gonna do just one more quick look with you guys. I don't know why, but my eyelids are burning, so I don't know if something in that gloss just does not agree with me, but yeah, not really feeling how my lids are feeling right now. Like, it burns. Burns, baby, burns. Ow. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in with the pink shade. Again, using that as my transition shade. And I'm putting that directly into the crease. So far, I will say that I think that this is a really pretty multi-chrome. I think it's nice and soft and subtle and perfect for people who don't like the super high impact indie multi-chromes. But if you are looking for something that is that very high impact, high shine, you can kind of get it with the Mehron mixing liquid. You can kind of get a little extra punch. I don't know how I feel about this clear gloss though. I feel like it's just different. Like, Mama Pat makes it look so good in her Instagram videos applying clear gloss onto the lid, but I don't think that that works for me. I'm also very curious as to how that would work for people that have hooded eyes, because it just seems like a recipe for a lot of creasing. So now that I've applied that pink shade kind of everywhere in the crease, I'm actually going to switch palettes a little bit. And that is because another way to get really high impact from a multi-chrome is to put that multi-chrome over like a black base. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go into my Demessa Myricks Lightwork Volume 3 palette, and I'm going to reach for this black shade. This is a creamy black, so I feel like the multi-chrome from Pat will stick to it really nicely because it is quite powdery and dry. I think that it would apply really well onto that matte black. So I'm just picking like a pretty dense blending brush, picking up some of that black shade, and then I'm just gonna apply that kind of all over the lid, buffing that into the pink. and not being super precise with this because I don't want this to be so black that it's like too much. I just want to get like a nice base so that the shades have something to stick to. And if the pink starts to disappear, you can of course just go back in with your brush and use that to blend out the edges to bring some of that pink back. This black reminds me a lot of Natasha Denona's cream to powder formula. I think it's quite similar. I'm still quite concerned by how much my eyelids were burning. Like, I don't typically have like super sensitive lids. Like, I can't do multiple looks because my lids can get really irritated by the rubbing off and on, but I feel like, I don't know, I think it's that clear gloss that was just like, no ma'am, not today. Okay, I really like how this is looking. So I'm gonna go back in with the multi-chrome, again picking it up with my finger, and then I'm just gonna tap that all over the lid, right on top of the black. As you can see, it doesn't look super metallic. I know like some people prefer like the very, very high shine multi-chromes, but if you want something that is more on the subtle side, this is gonna give you that very, very subtle multi-chrome. Now in the pan, you can definitely see the strong blue flip, but I feel like applied to my lids, the purple shows through more than the blue. So I think that if you really wanted the blue to show through, you'd have to either apply this onto a blue base or something that's blue leaning to really get it to peek through. Okay, this is looking good. And then I'm just gonna go back in with the brush that had the pink on it, probably picking up a little bit more of that pink and blend the edges. I'm also taking the brush that has the black and kind of just blending everything together as well. Okay, so this is what look number 2 is looking like. I'm gonna go finish up the rest of my face and I'll come back and give you guys my final thoughts on this full kit. Okay guys, so this is the final look. Like honestly, it's quick and easy, like really quick and dirty. I don't really think you can see the strong flip on camera like when I swatched it, but I don't know. I feel like I'm torn. Okay. So next I want to do some quick swatch comparisons of this multi-chrome with two that I just thought of. Well, two palettes that I just thought of. So again, here we have Pat's Sextra Galactic. Just gonna swatch that right here. So that is Sextra Galactic. And as I was using black from the Danessa Myricks palette, I thought about this shade Galaxy and Aurora. So here we have Galaxy from Danessa Myricks. That looks super duper wet. Ooh, that is beautiful. And it has the exact same flip. It's just way more vibrant. And here is Aurora. Definitely not the same. But these two pretty much have the same flip. Ooh, I gotta pull out Danessa's palette again. Those two shades are stunning. And then I wanted to swatch the two shades from the Natasha Denona Triochrome palette. So we have Kinetic and Color Flip. There we go. So So here we have Kinetic and Color Flip. So definitely not the same. This shade, Galaxy, is the closest to Pat's shade. It's like Pat, but it's like better though. Y'all know I love me some Patricia, but Danessa did that with these. Ooh, baby. Anyways, let me give you guys my final thoughts on this palette. Not palette. So to wrap things up, let me give you guys my final thoughts on this kit. Honestly, I think it's an okay kit. I do not think that you need to add this to your collection. I honestly wish that we were able to just buy the single multi-chrome without purchasing everything else. If you already have the Mirror mixing liquid, it's not gonna add anything to your collection. And from what I can tell, you really only need 1 to 2 drops of this. So it's gonna last a very, very long time, especially if you don't apply, if you don't use it very frequently. As for the clear gloss, this burned. I don't know if I did something wrong. I don't know what happened, but it was very, very uncomfortable on the eyes. It like felt super creasy. It's just not a product that I think I will ever use again because it was not a fun experience using this. And I don't know if I'm allergic to the ingredients in this, but this shit burned. And yeah, not doing that again. But it is a cool concept, and this is probably something that I would apply as like a lip gloss. I mean, it is a gloss, so I might use that as a lip gloss moving forward, just not something that I'm going to put on my eyes again. If you have a large multi-chrome collection, I honestly think that you have this multi-chrome shade in it already. It's not necessarily a unique flip, and quite frankly, the formula in here is really dry, so you're not going to get a very wet multi-chrome, kind of like the Danessa. You're going to get something that's a lot more subtle. So if you were hoping for this to be super vibrant, super pigmented, it's not that. In my opinion, it actually shows up more pigmented and more shifty in the pan than it actually translates onto the eyes. Is this a nice shade? Yes. Am I going to use it? I guess, maybe, if I remember. I don't exactly reach for single shades like that typically, but I have it, so hopefully I'll use it. But yeah, that's it. I wouldn't say that I'm impressed or blown away by this kit, but I'm also not super disappointed. I do think that the value is there because you get 4 products for $50, which is a reasonable price, and I will definitely use the eyeliner, the liquid, the Mirror mixing liquid, and the lip gloss, not necessarily so much, and I'll definitely use the eyeshadow. So it's like a toss-up. Like, I'm not mad that I bought this kit, but I'm also like, I could have saved $50. So I don't think that's helpful to you guys in any way. Do I think you need this? I honestly don't think you really need anything when it comes to makeup. You probably have a large enough makeup collection already, like me. But if you want it, I guess it's okay. I don't know. I'm not blown away by this Pat release. I could have done without it. That's all I'm saying. Alright, so I'm not going to sit here and ramble any longer. If you guys like this video, I hope you'll consider giving this video a big thumbs up. Leave a comment down below letting me know if you picked this up, what your thoughts were, because I don't know. I really don't know how to feel about this. I'm still like processing. Yeah, so like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Share this video with a friend if you think they'll like the content. As always, I love you guys. Thank you so much for hanging with me today. I'll have another video for you guys very, very soon. So thank you for stopping by. I love you, and I will catch you in my next one. Bye.